Buyer and seller conversation. Hi, I'm Paul R. Atkinson, your real estate coach. Today, we're going to talk about buyer and seller conversations. What are some of the things that come to your mind? I mean, right now, I could just imagine if you were here right now, which you are really, go in the description box below, see that comment. Why don't you just tell me what comes to your mind when you think about conversation with a buyer? When you think about conversation with a seller? Send me a comment. What comes to your mind? What do you want to know? What do you think you're good at about that? What are you good at about that? Share it. Also, hit that subscribe button. Stay in touch. That way I could provide you with up-to-date information that's going to what? Increase your business. You want to increase your business? Stay in touch. Subscribe. Look below also in the description, because you know I'm a man that loves to give gifts. I bring gifts of joy. It's like Christmas every day when you connect with me. So always look down for a gift. I love to create something. I'm an author. I wrote the book, The Art and Science of the Real Estate Agent. That's something that is a pocket guide that realtors can take around with them in order to work effectively with buyers, work effectively with sellers. So let's get started. What are some of the things that comes to your mind when you think about the conversation that you have with a buyer? Well, buyers are very hard to work with. You know that. You and I both know that. I've been doing real estate for more than 16 years. And I tell you what, year after year, it has been a successful number of transactions, hundreds of transactions, over six figure in income, not showing off, just letting you know I am qualified to be here to tell you about this and to help you to grow that business from wherever level you are right now. Buyers are somewhat of a bit, I would say, resourceful. They're very resourceful today. So 16 years ago, can you imagine when I started, right? I don't think they were as resourceful. I remember the number back then, a number was like, hey, 75% of the buyers are online. Where today, I have to tell you that 95%, maybe 99.9% of the buyers are online. So if you don't have an online presence, how can you have a conversation with them? Interesting, right? So it begins right there. You have to have an online presence. But some of the key things in having a conversation with a buyer. The most important thing is to be able to connect with the buyer in some way. And in connecting with a buyer or anyone, there are some techniques you can use. For example, I like to use what's called the mirror technique. How many of us know the mirror technique? If you do, why don't you write me a little comment? Have you done that before? Do you know what the mirror technique is? Tell me about it. The mirror technique is where you are somewhat mimicking, but very carefully, what the other person is doing. You're psychologically making them see that you associate with them. So if you're talking to a buyer and you notice that they use certain phrases or they talk a certain way, you can kind of go in that direction just a little bit. It kind of partners up with them, you see? So in their mind, they're beginning to like you more. If you are talking to a buyer and you can see their body language and their gestures, just mimic it. Just do a little bit of it, not too much. Don't overdo it, because then you're going to blow the cup. You're going to blow it. You need to just flow naturally and just learn how to adapt to another person's behavior, language, body language, and just flow with them. It gets them to like you. And that's your intention. You want to get them to like you first. And once you get them to like you, you can get them to listen to you. When you get them to listen to you, then guess what? Yep, you can really take them through a transaction, which is a heck of a process, to the end of the transaction, because it's very tough. You've got inspections, you've got appraisals, you've got so many bumps around. If you've ever driven in a subdivision and there's like humongous speed bumps, boop, 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 oh yeah, there is plenty of it in a transaction from A to Z. If you have a transaction that has no speed bumps, or maybe one or two, it happens, that's wonderful, but most transactions will be bumpy, and you need to know how to deal with that. So communicating effectively with your buyer requires you to be able to have that connection first, so you could command their movements. To learn more how to do that, I have scripts. Go in the description box below right now. Take a look and click the script that works best for you. And if you did not subscribe yet, make sure you subscribe. So, how do you connect with that buyer? You need to know how to have the ability to see what others are doing, and just to be a people person, so to speak. You know, many times I get new agents come on board and I could see it in them. Sometimes I feel like, I don't think I'm going to hire this one, but I see something else. And I said, this can work. And I say, okay, let's just go. But we identify the weaknesses, right? And we also identify the strengths. And we build upon the strengths and delegate the weaknesses. It's okay. That's my theory. Build upon the strengths, delegate the weaknesses. Hey, come on, you ever heard of a teamwork? I come from an environment where that's like team is like absolute number one. 14 years in the United States Navy on 2 ships. And I tell you what, when there was a fire or a plane crash, who had to put it out? All of us together. So we need to be a team. And you can identify that in yourself. And if you have weaknesses, you can delegate it, third party it out. But most important, when you're communicating with a buyer, you need to be able to have the strength to communicate effectively. And if you can't, then hey, listen, you need to learn how to do that. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Now, here are some tips on working with a buyer, right? So you're working with a buyer, right? And typically it would be the first encounter. Usually it's on the phone. I'm talking about really serious conversation is on the phone. In today's technology, I've got to be real with you. They call in, they will refer to you by someone, you call them, or you're at a event where it's a workshop and that's how you're engaging, right? But the intimate setting usually begins on the phone where you're setting that appointment. That's where it begins. That's where the connection begins. You get on that phone. Hi, how are you? This is Paul Atkinson. And I'm going to role play a little bit more, right, guys? Hi, this is Paul Atkinson. How are you? Yeah, hi. Hey, Tom, how are you? Wonderful. Thank you so much. Hey, Tom, I hear some. Are you from? You sound like you have an accent from up north or something. The moment you hear something, what was that? That was like first 5 seconds. I'm connecting, I'm mimicking, I'm like letting them know that I see them and I believe in them. So as they start to talk, because you're on the phone, close your eyes, you're on the phone, you could hear them. What you hear is what you see, and you need to grab it. Just take it. Here's another one. Ring, 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 ring. Oh, you see the number, you're like, 516. What area code is that? Oh, wait, no, New York. Okay, oh, New York. Hello, this is Paul Atkinson. Oh, hi, yeah. Oh, okay, you were referred to me. Oh, that's wonderful. Nice to hear. Thank you so much. You're from New York. I see the number coming in from New York. I used to live in New York. What is going on? Are you down here now, or where are you? Still up there? What an icebreaker. Huh? Do you see what I'm saying? Find the icebreakers in every opportunity that you get. It will bring you closer and closer to getting that prospect, that buyer, to liking you. And that's the first thing. Once you get them to like you, that's the first step of the sale. It's called conversation. Conversation. What are the 5 steps of the sale? Do you remember that? Conversation, curiosity, conviction, desire, and close. Look in the description box below. Click a link that applies to you. You need to get a script that's going to help you to master this? No problem. Do you need to get the 5 steps of the sale lesson? No problem. Do that. Also remember to subscribe. So conversation with a buyer is most important, that you connect with them, and you can connect with them in many different ways. But the most important thing is that you need to be successful with an authentic connection. Be real. You want to be real because they can sense it if you're not real. And most important, you can sense it. And when you sense it that it's not real, it makes you uncomfortable. And it makes them uncomfortable too. So just be natural at it. I spent over, I don't know, wow. I think since like 1993, I started recruiting for the United States Navy. And that, recruiting is tough. You're selling like a person to like give their life up for the country. That's a hard sell. So my sales skills came from back then. And it's been like count the years. It's like over 25 years of doing it over and over and over. Yeah. I'm a master at it, and I feel very confident in telling you that. I'm very comfortable in making you successful at connecting with the buyer. So remember that. Click on the link below and connect. So let's talk more about connecting with the buyer, and then we can go on with the seller. Connecting with the buyer is important because once you start to get into the transaction, you're going to need to handle a lot of objections. There's going to be objections of second thoughts. People are fired up on the first day when they see the house. They're like, oh my gosh. In that moment of seeing the house, they're like fired up. They're like, ooh, wow, yeah, I love it. I could see my furniture here and there. The night goes and they go lay down. They look at something else. They read some article, another property fly in to their inbox or something, and they come in a little deflated. So when you talk to them the second day, they might be, it doesn't happen often, but it can happen. You see that they might not be as encouraged or motivated as they were the day before. You need to know how to handle that. Hey, Tom, what am I hearing in your voice today? Hey, Tom, what am I seeing with you today? Ask that question. That's called a powerful question. Ask that question. Let them tell you. You're going to get more intimate with them. It's your body. Don't forget that. It's your body, right? You connect with them and you see what's happening. And if they tell you, oh, last night I was watching HGTV and I don't think I could make this house work. And you just go back to being honest with them and saying, hey, look, do you have HDT money to put in all of the work that you need? It's reality. But don't be rude about it. Just say, okay, all right, here's a script. Here's one of my scripts on that one. Okay, so the buyer comes and they're a little bit deflated, right? Just be nice. Oh, wow, Tom, I understand how you feel. Others have felt that way. Okay, well, let's just think about it. We could do it. I mean, we could dump this one and just, go find something else, but it could be more. Or right now, we could just work with this and just slowly build ourselves. Because remember, you get your tax return or you get your bonuses, and you could do the kitchen 1 year, a bathroom next. I mean, this is the ideal location because you said that you wanted the zip code for the kids. I think is that your primary goal still, or has it changed? No, wait, Paul, you're right. Oh yeah, the kids' zip code. Yeah. Don't, you can work at this. I mean, you've got a good roof, right? Air conditioning is good. Okay, everything is good. Listen, it's just a matter of that. I know you watch HGTV and, you can think we could find better. And we can. It's just that the money. It's just the money. So what are you feeling now? Oh, wonderful. Okay, good. Listen, man, you got to stay motivated. Okay, stay focused, just do like me. Think of the things that are primary and good for you. All right? Okay, let's go. That was a good script, right? There's many more. Look in the description box below. Subscribe, make a comment, click on the link that you need. Engage, let me know what you want to see. I'm here for you. So that's the conversation with the buyer. I think I provided a lot already. You get the drift, right? Main thing with the buyer, connection. What's the conversation with the seller? Well, pretty much the same, guys. You need to connect 5 steps of the sale. 5 steps of the sale. 5 steps of the sale. Conversation, curiosity, conviction, desire, and close. You need to connect with them. Don't go to... How can you go from step 1 to step 2 or step 3 without completing step 1? How's that possible? You know what I always like to say? All right, if there's 17 flights of steps and you're at the first one, can we as a human being go from step 1 to step 17 all in one leap? Oh, nope, you must be from outer space. You can't do that. You have to take one step at a time, maybe 2, maybe 3, you're super fit. But you can't get all 17 at one jump. So if there's 5 steps of the sale, why not understand in your sales process that you have to go through one step at a time? When you engage with a seller, your conversation should be very focused on building the rapport with them in step 1, making that connection. And, when I make my connections with my seller, I really kind of feel, I love to go out to the houses. I think it's like, there's so much more conversations that you can have with the seller. And seller is like the bread and butter. You want to have more sellers than buyers, any day. That's the way I put it. So it looks something like this. Ding dong, you get the appointment. Hi, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. I'm Paul Atkinson. I'm here to meet with you. How are you? Hey, Jim. Hi, how are you? Jim's going to say, hey, Paul, come on in. Wonderful. Remember, look at your senses. What do you smell? Oh, Jim, man, it smells like fresh brown cookies in here. Or, Jim, it smells like some oxtails in here from the Caribbean. I'm from Jamaica. Whatever it is. Jim, it smells like whatever. Smell. What do you hear? Oh, Jim, it's so peaceful in here. It sounds so nice and quiet. Oh, is that jazz music? I like, hey, you play music. I like the music. What do you see? Wow, Jim, what amazing open plan you have. There's something you see, you hear, you smell. Always. So get in and get connected with that seller. All right. There's a lot more to this. This is like the biggest training you can ever have is how to connect with a seller. Look in the links below in the description section and see what applies to you. So your conversation with the seller should always be about connecting with them. And when you connect with them, you can move on to getting them to like you and to give you that listing. It's very important. I'll give you a little bit more, okay, on the role play. So you're dealing with the seller. Just talk to them, see what's going on, make that connection, get them to feel comfortable with a basic connection type of conversation, and let them lead you into the meeting. Don't jump into the meeting. Let them get into the meeting. After you talk about the basketball, the baseball, they're from New York, they're from Chicago, whatever it is, then they'll pause. Just shut your mouth and just listen to a moment of silence. And they're going to say, okay, so we want to sell the house. And you say, oh, you do? Okay. So what motivates you to sell the house? That way I can help. They'll go ahead and tell you, and you kind of elaborate, you get that down. The most important thing is that you're listening and take notes. Let them see you're working right there on the spot. Take notes. Okay, I'm motivated because, you need to get a bigger house. That's understandable. That's a selling point. You need to write that down. They need a bigger house. There's a lot to this, guys. I can't go into it right now. It's a lot to it. So let's just the conversation goes on, and they're telling you about the reason. And then you would just come back with, okay, that's wonderful. I could surely help you with that. Here's another powerful question that I like to lead my sellers through. And I do have a script on this, guys. Look in the description box below and see my script on that conversation with a seller. Now, another powerful question is, after, they tell you why they're selling and why they're motivated. So what is it that you want to do after you leave this house? Where would you want to go? What is the plan for that? And they'll tell you that. That's important to know, where they like to go. This is a wonderful question, and I think it's one of my most powerful questions. So Mr. Seller, what would you like to see in your real estate agent? What do you want to see in your agent? What? Sometimes they say, what? What do I want to see? I just want them to sell the house. I understand that you want them to sell the house, but what would you expect from me as your realtor or anybody? What would you expect? Oh, okay. Well, what do you guys do? I see that, you do open house, or are you going to put it on MLS? Oh yeah, put it on MLS. And then you can start, you're getting authorization to start laying out your presentation, and their ears are listening at this point. You see that? Listen, there's a lot more to talk about, but I've got to run right now. Just remember to subscribe below, look in the description box and click what applies to you. Send me that little comment. I want you to tell me right now, what do you see? Hey, Paul, can you talk more about this? Hey, Paul, I need to know more about this. Connect with me, okay? I'm here to increase what? Your production. Bring you up there. You want to increase your production? Click on the links right below. Until next time, you know what I say. I'll see you soon. Go get 'em, Tiger.